everyone!
Hey, what's up?
My name is Brittany, also known as Brittany Beware on most social medias, and I tattoo out of Northeast Philly.
And my name is Rizzy Dalterio. My handle is Rizzy Tattoo with the number 2, and I work in Old Bridge, New Jersey.
And so we recently did some videos with Inked that got a lot of positive feedback, and since then we've both been getting a lot of questions on our social medias.
Definitely. About
things that we would like to answer for you, so we figured we would put them all together and answer them in a video right now.
Yeah.
So this one's first video is going to be about mostly like how to go about setting up an appointment, how to act when you're at your appointment, and how
very important
to take care of your finished product.
Definitely. And I just want to let you guys know, this is all from our personal experience. We're not trying to say we know it all. We're not trying to say we're right. This is just our perspective.
So number 1 would be how to set up an appointment. Riz, let them know how it's done.
So your best approach is get your idea completely 100% before you go and talk to an artist. The hardest thing is when people are like, you're the artist and I need your help, what's a good idea? What's a good idea to me may not be a good idea to you. I like gas masks and birds, and that might not be your cup of tea. So definitely get your idea like perfectly grounded before you even reach out. And the best way to do that, especially for me, is email or DMs on Instagram. I kind of fell off Facebook a little bit. Or just call the shop. If you can't get in touch with me, or if you can't get in touch with your artist, just call them directly at the shop. It's probably the main approach. You could ask the person at the front what days they work, or maybe the front desk person will be able to direct you towards a way of setting up an appointment as well. Brittany?
Right. Yeah, so for me, it's basically the same right now. Most people message me on social media and set up an appointment that way. Also, like, if you're my friend, you usually just like, yo girl, what's up? But starting ayo bitch. But starting January 2019, I will have a email set up specifically just for appointments, and that's going to be the only way that you can reach me outside of just stopping in the shop to say what's up, or setting it up that way, or calling the shop directly and speaking to one of our assistants. Because
Agreed.
I've been getting too many messages on Instagram and stuff, and between personal stuff and work stuff, it kind of all gets jumbled together, and then I feel like I don't answer people as quickly as possible, and then sometimes, you know, someone messages you and they're not really serious, and then you have to go back and forth with them. And it's just like such a pain, because I could be putting time into someone that's really serious about getting some artwork done, and I put like days of talking to someone about an appointment into them, and they're like, yeah, you know, like, I'll let you know when I want it. And I'm like, well, why did you message me if you don't want it right now? Like, I'm confused. So definitely, yeah, get your ideas together, get everything you need together, make sure you have the funds. You know, you can reach out to an artist and be like, hey, like, what's your pricing look like? That's a normal question. We totally understand that everyone has a budget, and most artists are willing to work with that budget, but definitely don't try and set up an appointment if you don't have the money for it.
Yeah, that's a big thing too, is tattoos aren't what we call like cheap. You know, it's
what
like,
they say, cheap.
Yeah, it's a luxury. It's something that it's like buying a new pair of shoes or getting a new wardrobe. It's just accentuation, but it's gonna invest some money into it.
Yeah, it's like they say you gotta invest money into yourself. Like, you invest so much money into shoes, clothes, like things to make yourself look good, and then I feel like it's the people that spend the most money on the way that they look, and then go and want to spend $20 on a tattoo, and it's like, you're gonna have those shoes for what, like a couple years, but your skin, if you get a bomb-ass tattoo, you're gonna have a bomb-ass tattoo for a long time, hopefully forever.
Until you die.
Yeah, like, you're taking that forever with you, so you might as well, if you're gonna drop money on something, definitely invest it in a good artist that does what you're looking to get done, in the way that you want it, and will do the best possible job for you. And then save up. If you don't have the money for it, wait. It's better to wait than to get something bad right now. Get something good in a year, or however long you need to save that money.
Yeah, we totally understand if when we price quote you, you are just honest with us. Be like, hey man, that was a little bit much. Can I just save up? Take as many months as you need. I'm gonna be tattooing for the rest of my life, hopefully, knock on wood.
Yeah, like, you know where to find me. I'll be at the shop. I'm not going anywhere, so.
Yeah.
But artists, like, biggest pet peeve is, like, people wasting their times, because we spend
Yeah.
so much time at work all day at the shop tattooing and drawing and doing everything else.
We spend more time at the shop than we do at our own houses.
Literally, like,
Yeah.
might as well put a bed there for myself.
No complaint. I love every minute of it. I'm just saying.
But, like, so it's someone definitely is looking to get in touch with us most of the time. So you have to respect their time that we should be putting towards them, and respect our time and not wasting it, because it could be going to someone who really is waiting for us.
And don't get us wrong. We do enjoy drawing. Like, that's our passion. We love it. It's just we don't like wasting our time. Don't take it wrong. It's just let us do your cool ideas. We want to hear them. We want to share experiences with you and just bond, but you just have to be serious about it.
Yes. Also, deposits are important, because, so for me, my minimum deposit is $50, but it also depends on how big the piece is, how many sessions we're scheduling, etc., etc. There are all variables in there, which we can talk about when you set up your appointment, but it's so important because I'm taking time out of drawing other appointments for people that have left deposits, and this, like, solidifies, like, this is your day and your time when you're going to be in the shop to get this tattoo, and I'm going to make sure that I put time aside for you before you even come in to make sure that your drawing is done, perfect, you're going to approve it, we're going to make sure everything is
Same.
totally great before you even come in the shop. So that money for the deposit goes towards my time that I'm already spending with you before I even see you.
Mm-hmm.
So.
And don't get us wrong. This is not for everybody, but in my case, the deposit goes towards your tattoo. It's like a down payment, so to speak, and it's not like you're missing out on any cash. The only way it'd be missing out if you blatantly disregard the appointment and miss it, no call, no show, or if you, actually, no, that's it.
Yeah, like,
that's it.
Like, most people, I'll work with you. If you leave a deposit and, you know, something happens, as long as you let me know, like, a couple days in advance, I'll be like, okay, like, that's fine, let's reschedule it, I'll keep your deposit, it will still go towards your tattoo. And most artists also work off the same kind of structure as far as that goes, so.
Yeah.
Just, it's all respect. Like, as long as you respect us and let us know things and respect our time, because if you don't come in for your appointment, someone else is going to come in and fill that time slot. So, if you don't come in and then you're like, never tell us, or you tell us 10 minutes before you're supposed to be there, hey, I'm not coming anymore, then it's like we're just sitting there at the shop with nothing to do when potentially we could have filled that spot and been making money, so.
Mm-hmm. And as charismatic as we are, sometimes it's hard to fill in, like, walk-ins.
So, okay, so I guess moving on to number 2.
Duty.
What? What does that even have to do with anything? Okay, number 2, getting your tattoo done. Riz, take it away.
I ask of 3 things. Very easy.
I don't know why I'm laughing. Okay.
Are you ready?
Lay it on him.
Alright. Please do not move. And if you bring a posse, make sure that your squad is well behaved.
Your squad
is well behaved. It's not cool to touch the client, and we get it. You want to smoke, you need a break. That's totally awesome. Take as many as you want. Just don't make it to a point where it gets a little redundant, where every 15 minutes you're getting up. It's hard to really move and, like, get things done in order to fill, like, certain time amount, because you have to be considerate. We also have other appointments after you, or even later on in the day we might have some drawings we have to do as well. So always be considerate of your artist's time. We understand it hurts, we understand you need breaks, but there is a point of it being excessive.
Yes, very true. Also, like, if you're getting tattooed and your artist, like, is going, like, usually I'll suggest, hey, like, are you sure you're good? Like, I always make sure my client's okay, they're comfortable. Like, obviously you're in pain. I want to make sure you're doing okay to continue on. I'm always okay with you being like, hey, you know, it's been a couple hours. I don't know if I can make it through this. Like, I get it. I've been there. So I always am like, it's totally fine. Yeah, let us know. Like, definitely let us know how you're feeling. Don't suffer in quiet.
We care about you.
We do.
We don't like hurting people.
I, like, apologize to my clients. I'm like, I know you asked for this, but I'm sorry. I feel so bad you're in pain.
Especially if you, like, you're really bonded with the person. You're like, wow, dude, I'm really hurting you this time. And it's just like, I don't mean it. We're still friends, right?
Yeah, like, please be my friend after this. But the worst thing, like, pet peeve for me would be, I'll say, like, sometimes I'll be like, hey, like, are you good? Let's keep going. And then other times I'll say, let's not keep going and let's set up another appointment. And that means that I can completely tell that you are going through it. You've shut down, you're, like, convulsing or something, and you're trying to fight through it. And I'm like, please, like, I don't want to do this to you anymore. And it's like, I'm trying to tattoo you when you're a fish out of water. I'm trying to, like, follow you with my machine while you're, like, flopping around. And, like, my worst pet peeve is the clients are like, no, please keep going, even though I know, like, I can't run a straight line on you right now because, like, there's no chance for me.
Right? You're not tough. You're not proving anything. Just, we're saying it not because we're lazy. We're saying it because we understand it hurts. But we're the professionals. You have to take our advice. We're not just saying it to brush you off. It's because you will literally make my tattoo, not 100%, and that is my goal at the end of the day, to give you a perfect tattoo to my best of my ability.
Yes, definitely. So if we think that the way that you are acting while getting tattooed is taking away from the work that we know that we could put out, like, I will suggest, please, let's make another appointment and finish this another day, because I know for a fact we are not going to get my best results right now because of, you know, the circumstances, which is totally fine. Like I said, like, we have pain, we have tattoos, like, we get it, we've been there. So just, like, if we're like, hey, like, let's, like, not today. And, like, my favorite clients are the ones that are like, hey, listen, I'm really sorry I'm going through it. Like, I just don't think I can finish this today. And I'm like, oh, dear Lord, thank you. like I would so much rather have a client be like, listen, I can't do it today. Let's finish this another day.
Golden.
Yeah, like, you're my fave. Shout out to you.
Yep.
Because I'm like, okay, like, this person is going to get the best tattoo that I can possibly do.
Oh, yeah.
They're going to sit good, and when they can't sit good anymore, they're like, yo, girl, like, it's my time for the day.
Yep.
I'm out.
My soul has left my body.
Yes. So, yeah, that's the difference between what we want you to act like and not want you to, for both of our benefits.
Now, here is the fun part of this segment. We're going to tell you why people have made us say what we just said. Tell me your worst sit. Let's call it squirmers. Tell me about your squirmers.
So I'd like to say that, like, start off by saying most of my clients have been really wonderful. Thank you guys very much.
Yes,
I've been really blessed because sometimes I'll be tattooing and I, like, look around, like, conventions or, like, even at my shop and just, like, see the way certain people are acting, and I'm like, where did I get my angel clients from? Because they usually, like, 90% of the time are just wonderful.
Right.
So I'm like, okay, thank you. Like, I don't know who blessed me with you, but thanks.
Yeah, definitely.
But definitely, I've had some characters along the way so far. So this one girl, I'm not gonna get too into it, but this one girl, she just couldn't sit still, complained from the moment I started. We were going through for a few minutes. She's, like, grabbing her boyfriend. She's screaming. She's, like, crying. And, like, it wasn't a bad area. It wasn't a painful area. Like, it all hurts. But, like, I think at the end of the day, I figured out she, like, was, like, drunk or something, which I didn't know because she was acting totally fine when she got there. And then a little bit in, all of a sudden, she, like, did a total 180 to being, like, a wild animal, like, trying to jump out of the chair. And I was like, I can't get anything done. She's, like, screaming and, like, just throwing her body in all directions. And it was, like, that's the only time that's ever happened to me. Honestly, it was really just this one time that was just the worst. So that's why I say most of my clients are really good. But if you can't be tattooed or if you're intoxicated, don't come in acting like you're fine and let me believe that you're fine and then immediately turn into a crazy person and freak out, like, mid-tattoo, because how am I supposed to get anything done that way?
True, true.
All right, Riz, what was your worst sitting client story?
Okay, I was at...
Sorry if you're watching.
Yeah, right, yeah. Alright, I was at an event, and we were raising money, and people were drinking. This may have been my 4th or 5th client of the day, and right away, I couldn't really tell she was intoxicated. I was very busy and distracted by everything going on. So as I sit her down, I put on the design on her back, show her a picture, she approves of it, it's great. My first line, now what's called is like hang my needle a little bit. Now this has the relevance, are you ready? I go to touch the machine to her back, and she gets scared and jumps, and that entire needle goes into her back because my reflex wasn't fast enough. So I'm like, are you kidding me? I freak out on her. I'm like, do you understand what you just did? You jumped into my needle. Like, that, number 1, hurt you, and number 2, you messed up your tattoo. I'm gonna have to go back into this in 2 weeks. She's like, well, you shouldn't talk to me like that. You scared me, the noise. I'm like, lady, you're getting a tattoo. What did you expect? Anyway, long story short, I finished the tattoo. She ended up loving it, but you see like this straight blowout on the top of the wing or whatever it was, and I was like, of course. Thank you, lady. I appreciate it.
All right, so moving on.
Being a great client also requires you to not be awkward and don't cross the line. There's obviously a bond being built between artist and client. Like, that's the whole wow factor of the experience. Respect if we're in relationships, respect if we're single and not. We're there to do a job. Yeah, not interested. Nice. We're there to do a job. So all we ask is come clean. No, take showers, practice good oral hygiene. I just really want to say oral.
So one time I was tattooing someone.
I always have gum.
I always have gum.
Please
you can
ask.
always ask me for gum. Literally have bowls of mints in the front of the shop for anyone that comes in. Right when you come in, get yourself ready. Like, I know when I'm tattooing somebody, right before I start, I know if my face is gonna be anywhere near their face, I always put gum in my mouth because,
we're human.
like, yeah, we're human, you know, whatever. It is what it is. I am always drinking coffee. I don't want to have my coffee breath in nobody's face.
Yep.
So I always put gum in my mouth out of respect for my clients.
Please.
So if everyone could do that for me.
Another thing, if you're getting like your foot or your ribs tattooed, please, if you went to the gym, take some consideration. Wash yourselves. There's so many times during the summer people will come in with their feet drenched in sweat, stinking up the entire place, and they'll be in sandals, and it's just like, how is that stench coming from there? But that's besides the point. All I'm saying is, please, our faces are close to this area. We have to really be attentive to the detail. So if you could, just wash yourselves. That's all we ask.
Yeah, just like be clean.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna be really close to your skin. We're gonna be touching your skin.
Yeah.
We're gonna be smelling your skin. Please, like, just take care of yourself. I mean, this is basic hygiene, but like, if you could really do some extra business, like before you come in and are close to my face. But anyways, yeah. So as far as crossing the line, making your artist uncomfortable, that is so not okay.
I will cut you off. Like, no more tattoos for you
Yeah.
after that.
Also, like, think about you as a client coming in. You want to be comfortable. You know, I'm going to be touching you. You know, I might be in like some kind of intimate area depending on the spot of where you're getting tattooed. And I want you to know that when you come into the shop, like, I'm going to respect you. I'm going to try and make you feel as comfortable as possible. I would never make like out of line comments to my clients or make anyone, I would never try to make anyone feel uncomfortable.
Don't do it to us. It's plain and simple.
Yeah, we expect the same thing. Like, I am gonna be close to you for a long period of time, most likely, and hopefully you'll make more appointments, but during that time, I don't want to feel uncomfortable, and I don't want you to feel uncomfortable, so there's just, like, a lot of boundaries that you shouldn't cross with your artists, unless you, like, it's a mutual thing, which is, like, don't just
hints.
assume.
We'll drop hints, okay? But
like, you know what life is. Like, you know how flirting works. If your artist was interested in you, I'm sure, you know, you'll figure that out on your own.
But don't mistake our niceness for flirting. We're simply being nice. Please.
Don't make it awkward, like, while I'm tattooing you and you're just like, hey, baby, what's up? And I'm like, Bye, guys.
And
like I said, the way being like so close to people, like I get really close with a lot of my clients, you know, we talk about so much stuff. Like I love hearing everyone's life stories and, you know, experiences, etc., etc.
Definitely.
Like I love meeting new people and getting close with them, and, you know, I think that part of the job is really awesome, and it's one of my favorite parts of the job, and also the area where it makes things kind of get a little jumbled sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
That can lead to some uncomfortableness. So just mostly respect your artist and don't cross any boundaries, because if you want to continue to get tattooed by them, you should probably maintain a respectful relationship with that person.
Yeah, definitely. And just like, excuse me, respect is a big thing. Respect goes a long way. Experiences happen all the time. But the most awkward one I probably experienced was with this older guy at one of the first shops I worked at. He had gotten work done by the previous owner of the shop, and he wanted to show it off. Me not knowing where it was on his body, I was like, yeah, sure, show me your tattoo. This man drops trout in the dirtiest whitey-tighties I've ever seen. And I immediately avert my eyes, and it was the most I was just dumbfounded at that point. I was like, this guy's half naked. I don't even want to see his thigh. Like, I'm so uncomfortable. I'm in a small little room at this point. I'm alone in the shop. And I'm like, oh God, this is it. This is where I die. Luckily, I was able to get him to put his pants back on, and I told him I had to stop his tattoo session there, and I'll continue it a different day. And I eventually finished it, but it was during the daytime when there was a bunch of people there. And that was probably the most awkward, uncomfortable experience I've ever had in the tattoo shop. What about you, Brittany?
Okay, so this kind of goes for clients and also people that just want to talk to us about tattoos.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, most of my clients have been really great. I've been super lucky, but, you know, everyone has those few. But I've had more bad experiences with people that I'm not tattooing that just try to talk to me about tattoos. So, like I said, I'm in Philly, so I expect the weirdest shit to be happening all the time because, you know, Philly's a big city, there's tons going on, you know, who knows what's gonna happen there, but my shop's been pretty good as far as I've been there, but a few times I would be out with, you know, some of the guys from the shop or, you know, whoever, other artists that I know from around. And, you know, you have a big group of tattooed people. Most people in public, like, are like, hey, like, are you an artist? Blah, blah.
We're cool looking, we know.
So, one time, a few months ago, I'm drunk. It's like 3 a.m. We leave the bar. We're at this pizza place in, like, South Philly. And this lady comes up to us, like, and asks one of us, like, hey, you an artist? And they were like, oh, like, no, she is, like, pointing to me. So the lady drops her pants and underwear in the middle of this restaurant, like middle of this pizza place.
Ratchet.
Like a bunch of people all drunk there, just drops pants and underwear and bends over and is like showing me this like shit work all over her like back and butt. And she's like, yeah, I'm just like really looking to cover this up. And like, you think this would be the worst part of the story, but this is just the middle. So I was like, okay, like, that's fine, I see it, like, I get it, like, pull your pants up, please, but, like, me being drunk and, like, I get super nice and lovey when I'm drunk, so I'm like, oh, like, what are you looking to do, like, you can come in the shop, like, just make sure you have an idea before you come in, we'll talk when you get in there, we have, like, more private space where you don't have to drop your pants in public, and, you know, it'll be more secluded and a lot, like, less uncomfortable for everyone involved, and she's like, yeah, so, like, I was just thinking, like, change. And I was like,
make a hell.
I was like the word change. And she's like, no, you know, like pennies, nickels, dimes, you know, just like change all over. And I was just like, this just doesn't get any worse, does it? I was like, okay, well, I don't even know why I asked. All right, you have a good night.
Hold on, I bet she expected it to only cost change. And
yeah, she's like, I'm also gonna pay for this in change. But, yeah, so if you see an artist you recognize from social media or, you know, go up to someone in a bar ask about tattoos in public. Don't take your clothes off. It's okay. Like,
No.
if you're gonna get tattooed, you're gonna come into the shop, we're gonna talk, it's gonna be a good environment, not in front of everyone at a bar or wherever. Like, that's not the first time that that's happened to me. Like, in public, people will just take their clothes off, and I'm like...
It's happened to me in a bar in Wisconsin. These people, there were a couple, they just looked at each other like, you ready? And she was like, yeah. And then they both took off their shirts and like started showing us their tattoos. I was like, cool, man, put your clothes back on, it's cold.
Yeah, like, it's okay. Like, just because I'm an artist doesn't mean I want you to take your
like,
clothes off in my face. Yeah, like a picture of just the tattoo and not your whole naked body would be like, that would suffice.
Definitely. We want to see them. We love other artists' artwork, but I don't want to see... Please be considerate and do not vape unless you ask the artist. We understand you want to get high. We understand you want to, like...
Listen, we don't need to know about what you do.
No.
We just need to know if it affects your tattoo.
Yes. Yes.
If you're getting high, we don't need to know about it. You don't need to do it in our shop.
Nope.
We don't care. That's your own business.
Yep.
I'm not your mom. Like, I don't
kids.
care. Anyways, yeah, so just, it's a respect thing. Also, friends, bringing your friends to the shop, make sure, you know, you don't have a gang that's just, like, yelling and all over. I've had people where I'm tattooing, and they're, like, over me, like, basically bumping into me while I'm tattooing,
touching
like,
my station,
taking pictures, like, leaning,
I'm
like,
yo, that's
so where I
with
can't
blood
see.
in it. What are you doing? You don't know your homie like that.
Yeah.
You know?
Like, unless you guys are, like, every day swapping blood, which I don't need
That
to
is
know
really
about. Or hopefully you're not, but,
I mean, cults are a thing, you know.
Alright, so anyways, not saying we don't want to see your art, because we totally do. We love seeing other artists' work. We love talking about our work, but just not every artist wants to talk about work all the time when they're not at work.
Especially at parties.
Yes. And also, don't really enjoy being flashed, so, yeah.
Third part of our video would be aftercare. We just want to touch on a few points and just tell you like how to really take care of your tattoo. So my best bet is every artist knows how their tattoos heal, and you listening to your friend or listening to the internet is probably your worst bet. If the artist is telling you to do something specific, it's because they know that's how their tattoos heal 100%. Just follow it. It's 2 weeks of your life that you have to, like, follow orders. It's not that hard. Please.
Just a couple minutes a day.
Please.
That's all it takes. It's just some love.
Yeah. Typically for me, I like redemption, and I typically ask people to pick it up. I tell them they can use it for the full 2 weeks. If they aren't able to, Aquaphor is good for the first 3 days. Then switch to a regular non-scented lotion. Less is always more. You want to coat the tattoo, but you don't want to over-glob it. Just like a nice thin layer, make sure it's moist, but you don't really need much. And do it at least 4 times a day. I usually tell people, as you're eating throughout the course of the day, you know, go and wash it and reapply. Your best bet is keep it clean. It is an open wound. People tend to forget because of the pretty colors, but it is a cut. And just take care of it. We want you to lead a happy, healthy life, and we want your tattoo to look like it does as soon as you leave the shop. Follow our rules, and it will. It's simple as that.
Spot on. Yeah, I feel like my aftercare is basically the same. If you follow me or my work, you know that I do mostly black work and that sort of style, so my tattoos, like, as long as you take care of them, nothing is gonna change. Like, I don't really do black and gray, and I don't really do color, so the way that you leave my shop, the way your tattoo looks, is basically exactly how it should look when it heals, as long as you take care of it the way that I tell you to. So my clients, usually I just say ointment, A&D, or Aquaphor for the first 3 days, and then for 2 weeks, any kind of unscented lotion or all-natural lotion, anything that doesn't have any alcohol or scents in them. And
we get it. You like the sun. The sun is, like, fun to go play in. But use UV protection, no matter what. If you're going hiking, if your tattoo is exposed, think about what the sun is going to do to it. Your colors, I'm a color artist. I love doing color, but the sun is your worst enemy. It will make your things look dull. It'll sometimes even change the colors. Yellows I've seen fade out, yellows and reds, but all in all, just take care of it. I'm not saying avoid the sun. I'm not saying, you know, you have to live a vampire life, but at the same time, just throw some lotion on it.
Yeah, if you ever see me travel and like I have like an extra bag on top of all my bags, that bag is full of sunblock, people. Yeah. I bring like 40 bottles of sunblock with me wherever I am because I'm like all day. Like, I don't stop. And it's because, you know, I try to keep my tattoos looking the way that they look now. I want them to look good forever.
Yeah.
Also, like, the sun is not good for your skin to begin with, so...
Stop like, tanning and tanning beds after you get tattooed. It will ruin your tattoo. I've heard this happen so many times that people complain, hey, why does the white look yellow now or brown? Well...
Because you're burning your skin off.
Exactly.
But yeah, seriously, also, like, just in terms of your skin, like, I can tell when my clients go tanning, in tanning beds often, because their skin is rough. It's so rough, and it's really hard to tattoo.
Like leather.
Like, way worse, like, yeah, exactly, it's leather. Mm-hmm. It's like tattooing leather, because your skin gets so rough from the abuse from all those UV rays, because they're just not meant to be there. So, yeah. I mean, life tip and tattoo tip, you're welcome.
We care about your skin. Keep it beautiful. Use lotion.
Also, you can use, like, Saniderm, Tegaderm. I am definitely an advocate of all of those things.
Yeah, definitely.
I use them on my tattoos as much as possible. They make life really easy. If you don't know what that is, it's just a clear bandage that you put on that seals all your fluids in and all the outside business out so that you can't get infected as long as it's sealed onto your skin and not leaking and there's no open pieces, etc. So that's always a second option.
That just about covers it. All we usually give is like a little aftercare sheet just in case you forget our, you know, description.
Yeah, all you have to do is 2 weeks. Like, no salt water, no chlorine, no sun, bathing,
no questions,
no baths.
Either. Call us if you have a concern.
Yeah, I always get.
Please.
I mean, if I'm your artist, you know how to get in touch with me.
Yeah, it's
if you have questions, I will answer any questions all the time.
Definitely.
You know, you can ask me 100 times. It's totally fine. I would rather you ask me 100 times and have a good healed tattoo than not ask at all and come back with like a super sad looking thing that looks like it got no love, and then I get upset like this.
There are babies.
Yeah.
Literally.
We literally make this art and then have to say goodbye to it immediately after, which is like the hardest part of tattooing. So please take care of them and love them as much as we do.
Yeah, definitely. Make your artist happy.
But I guess that about wraps up our first video.
Definitely.
Just want to say thank you so much for all of your support and anyone watching. Any new people, hello, this is us.
And please leave us some comments. Oh yeah, thank you, obviously. But leave us some comments in the bottom, you know, down below in this nice little section. And tell us how we did and tell us what you want to hear in our next video. Give us some input on your tattoo experiences. And if you have some funny stories to share, please leave them down below. We're looking forward to it.
Thanks, guys.
Have a good day, yeah.